who's never been into the studio, maybe that annoying coworker or family member who you think would like really benefit from getting on the mat and flowing through. So this is your opportunity to invite them in here, get their bodies onto the mat, totally free for them. So they get unlimited yoga, they get daily content sent to their email, and then they also are invited to attend 3 workshops. So we do have 3 mini workshops happening next week, which you are also invited to. There's one happening on Wednesday, one on Thursday, and then one on Sunday. So if that's something that you're interested in, I can get you signed up for that or give you some more information. But that's what's happening sort of next week in here at Evolution. So just good things to keep your eyes on. But we'll go ahead and get started in child's pose then this afternoon. It's not morning anymore, it's afternoon. So bringing your feet together, knees can come wide. Let your forehead come down onto the mat. And take some moments here to find that Ujjayi breath. And inhale through the nose, pause at the top. And then exhale through the nose with a pause at the bottom. Taking this time here and now to let go of anything that might have happened earlier today, anything you have going on later. Put it all to the side and allow yourself to be right here on your mat. We'll find 3 more breaths here, your chance to get fully integrated in. Feel that pressure through your hands, helping you to sit all the way back into those sit bones. One more breath. Downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, send those sit bones back, and walk your dog out, taking any movement that feels good to you. No movement is wrong here. Allow your feet to pedal out. Maybe the knees bend. Maybe you're putting some attention and action in the shoulders. Again, no movement is wrong. Stay with that Ujjayi breath. Deep inhale through the nose. Your pause at the top and your exhale, the pause at the bottom. Good. We'll have 2 more of those. Inhale, come up to your tiptoes. Exhale, send it back, pressing through the shoulders. Good. Just one more like that. Inhale on up. Exhale, press it down. Good. Tiptoe your toes up to your hands. Hang in ragdoll. Let your head hang heavy, squaring off the arms or letting them go. We have 2 breaths here, filling up, awakening the spine, the backs of the legs. One more breath. Good. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up, root to rise, gaze to fingertips. Exhale, hands down to heart center. We'll begin class today with 3 ohms. Big breath in. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up. Forward fold, let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale it back. 3 Ujjayi breaths, fill up. Let it go. 2 more. Last one, fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Exhale all the way down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Again, 3 breaths here, filling up completely. Yeah, and exhaling out. 2 more. Last one. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain root to rise. Gaze towards fingertips. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Again, 3 breaths to fill up. Good. Last one. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up. Gaze towards fingertips. Fold. Exhale it down. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Allowing ourselves to waken into our body. Bringing that awake power to the breath and movement connection. 1 more breath, fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Last sun A. Rise all the way up. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. Again, 3 breaths here. Fill up. Let it go. Good. 2 more. Fill up. Exhale out. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Sit back. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. So a little bit different. Just here at this first warrior 1, a moment to check in with what's going on. Good. Big breath in. Exhale all the way down. Chaturanga. Float over to your other side. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior 1. Again, inhale, rise on up. We'll hang out here for a few breaths to sink deep, to be nice and aware in this first warrior on our left side. Good. Big breath in. Yep. And exhale down. Chaturanga, flowing through. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Fill up. And let it go. Good. 2 more. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale. Arms up. Sit back. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. A pause. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down to your mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Again, 3 Ujjayi breaths here. Good. 2 more. Last one. And move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Sit back. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. A pause. Chaturanga. Exhale all your way down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down. Good. We'll meet in downward facing dog. For those 3 powerful breaths, fully awakening the body. Good. Your last one, fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up, sit back. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, rise up, a pause. Chaturanga. Exhale down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, rise up, nice and strong. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Here again, 3 breaths, nice and powerful. Last one, fill up. Exhale and move forward. Last sun B, halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up, sit deep. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, rise on up. Chaturanga, exhale down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Last one of practice. Chaturanga, exhale down. Good. Floating through, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. 2 breaths. Fill up. Let it go. Last one. Fill up. Exhale it out. Right leg goes back. 3-legged dog. Nice long line here. Go ahead. Raise that leg just a little higher. Yeah, good. Bend your knee. Open up the hip. A few breaths into the side body. Visualize where you're headed and then go ahead and flip your dog. Feet on 12 o'clock once you land. Nice steady breaths to lift up. Accessing your fullest expression of your flip dog here this afternoon. Beautiful. I see some wheels. Nice steady breaths. Hand comes down, side plank. Stacking up the side plank, whether knees on the ground, both legs out straight. Coming back to that nice strong breath. You have 2 more here. That top leg can float up high. Good. Hands come down. Chaturanga flowing through. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. 2 breaths here. Fill up. Side out. Let it go. Yeah, 1 more. Fill up. Side out. Let it go. Left leg goes back. 3-legged dog. Once it's up there, raise it a little bit higher. Good. Bend your knee, open up the hip. A few breaths to the side body. Visualize where you're headed and then go ahead and flip on over. Flip dog. Feet on 12 o'clock. Right when you land, bring those toes in towards one another. Good. Nice adjustment. Hand comes down, side plank. Again, allowing yourself to stack up this side plank, staying with your intentional breath, that creating that fire, that creating the strength here. Then accessing the ease. Beautiful leg begins to float on up. You have it for 2 more breaths. Stay nice and present here. Yeah, hand comes down, chaturanga, flowing through, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale it back. Again, 2 breaths here. Fill up. Side out. 1 more. Fill up. Let it go. Right foot forward, crescent lunge. This first moment to check in, yeah, you can start with a knee down on the ground so you can check in with what your feet are doing. And then coming up into the hips. Inhaling to find the lengthen. Exhaling to sink a little bit more into your lunge, letting those legs get some action here. Hands to heart center, revolving crescent lunge. Elbow comes down. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to twist a little bit more. Good. Maybe the arms open up. Good. Inhale back to center. We have crescent lunge for 2 more breaths. Get nice and long. Gaze towards the fingertips. Sink nice and low. Warrior 2. Drop your back ankle. Working with your breath to be nice and here in your warrior 2. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to sink a little bit more. Extended side angle. Hand can come down to a block, to your shin. Creating this vitality here in our extended side angle, getting lots of space, nice and open. Yeah, reaching for a bind, maybe finding some arm circles, both hands. So many options here. Both hands to the mat, chaturanga, flowing through upward facing dog. Big inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale it back. Left foot forward, crescent lunge. Again, this first moment to check in with those feet straight out on 12 o'clock. Working to stack that back ankle over the toes. Coming up to the hips, checking in with those. And then eventually reaching up and beginning to find that crescent. Inhaling to lift up out of the sides. Exhaling to sink deeper into your lunge. Hands to heart center, revolving crescent lunge. Again, inhaling to lengthen through the spine. And on your exhale, maybe those arms open up wide. Gaze goes towards the fingertips. Good. Inhale back to center. Crescent lunge again for 2 breaths. Our last 2 breaths here. Make them worthwhile. Warrior 2. Drop your back ankle. Exhaling to sink in. Roll your shoulders up to your ears and on back to your back. So we have a nice open chest in our warrior 2. Extended side angle. Hand can come down to a block or your shin. Vitality here on our other side, opening up. Nice, steady ujjayi breaths again. Both hands to the mat, chaturanga. Flowing through upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 1 breath here, fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Thunderbolt. Inhale, arms up. Feet about hip width distance, so you can go and spread them out just a little bit. First check in, lift and spread those 10 toes, so we're pressing through the mounds of our big toe. Pull the pit of the belly in towards the spine, and then let yourself sit deep. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to sink a little more. Beautiful. Hands to heart center, twist to the right. Thunderbolt prayer twist. We have this here for 3 breaths. You might be able to open up your arms, get nice and open. 1 more breath. Good. Come on back to center. Fold. Peace fingers, wrap them around your big toe. Steady breaths here, working to create space, giving you that counter stretch in the back of your legs. Give those toes a bit of a pull. See what that feels like to really get your fold going on. Good. Release out. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold. Let it go. Thunderbolt. Inhale. Arms up. And again, checking in. So we're pressing through the mounds of our big toe. Pull that pit of the belly in towards the spine. And again, working with your breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to sink a little bit more. Good. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Thunderbolt prayer twist. Again, just 3 breaths here, working with this pose. Good. Come on back to center. Fold palms to toes, forward fold. Wrap those palms way under your feet. Give yourself spirit fingers or the wiggling of toes, that little massage. Release your feet, crow pose. Crow pose or goddess squat, wherever you're working today. Fingertips wide on the mat. Nice, strong foundation. Playing around, maybe one toe goes up today. Good. Chaturanga. Send those feet behind you. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. Tiptoe your feet up towards your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Eagle, right side. Inhale on up. Right arm under. Right leg over. Steady breath here, working to find your balance. But resting assured that balance is okay if it's not there. That means you're trying something new, exploring new possibilities. Raise those hands just a bit higher, shoulders and elbows level. Good. Relax on down. Big breath in. Eagle, left side, left arm under, left leg over. Drishti, gaze point locked out in front of you. Your steady breath helping to make this pose possible. Raise those elbows up a bit higher. Yeah. Good. Release on down. Eagle, right side, right arm under, right leg over. And a chance to play around here. So find your edge points. Find where things start to get a little sloppy, a little wiggly. Play around with it. You have 2 more breaths here to sit nice and deep. Find lots of action in the legs. Good. Release on down. Eagle, left side, left arm under, left leg over. Again, your chance to play around with what's possible. Sit nice and deep. Raise those arms up nice and high. Good. Release on down. Standing leg raise, right side. Whether you're using a strap, grabbing the knee, or reaching for the toe, standing leg raise, right side. Bring your shoulders up to your ears, roll them onto your back, big open chest. Send your leg to the side, gaze the opposite way. Steady breaths here. Good. Come on back to center. Big breath in. Airplane. Exhale it back. Those 5 lifted toes pointed down towards the mat. Nice flex. Good adjustments there. Visualize where you're headed. Half moon. Going nice and steady. Nice and slow. A few more breaths here to play around with it. Maybe reach back for that ankle. Just see what's possible. Trying the pose on. Good. Release on down. Stand at the front of your mat a moment in Tadasana. Get re-grounded. And now we're ready for standing leg raise, left side. Left leg comes on up. Again, the use of a strap, grabbing the knee, reaching for the toe, wherever you're at. Open up to the side. Gaze goes the opposite way. Keeping flexion in that lifted foot, helping you balance, helping create this equanimity fully through our body. Come on, back to center. Big breath in. Airplane. Exhale that foot back, opening up the chest, palms towards the ground. 5 lifted toes pointed down towards the mat. Half moon. Go ahead, stack those hips. Again, going nice and slow. Working with your breath rather than finding it later. If you played around, reach back for that ankle on this side. Just a few more breaths to see what's possible here this afternoon. Good. Go ahead and release on down. Again, a moment here in Tadasana. Big breath in. Let it go. Good. We're ready for dancer right side. Reach back, grab the inside of that ankle. Unless you're using a strap, another great way to try it on. Steady breaths to help find the pose. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to kick that shin back a little bit more. You have 2 more breaths here, nice and strong. See what's possible. Good. Release on down. Dancer left side. Reach back, grab the inside of that left ankle. Yes, and working with your breath to kick that shin straight back. Gaze locked out in front of you. Steady breath, creating space. 2 more. See what's possible. Kick that leg back. Get curious. Good. Release on down. Tree right side. Bringing the foot anywhere but the inside of your knee. Hands to heart center to begin. And then grow your tree, however that looks today. Nice and wide. Big, beautiful oak trees. And 2 more breaths. Good. Release that down. Tree left side. Moment to first get grounded in the feet. Nice strong roots. And then find your arm variation, maybe a bind behind the back. Could be goalpost arms. Whatever it is, we have 2 more breaths. Good. Release on down. Come to the front of your mat. Extended mountain, best one you have. Inhale on up. Forward fold. Let it all go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, triangle pose. First moment, check in with those feet. Yeah, and then allow yourself to open on up. Hand can come to a block, to your shin, to the mat. So many options here. Gaze up towards that lifted hand. You have 2 more breaths to open up. Get this grounding in the feet. Good. Come on back up to standing. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Toes go to the long edge of the mat. Hinge forward at your hips. Crawling those fingers either between your legs or way out in front of your head. Good. Come on back up to standing. Let that core work as you rise. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Feet go wide on the mat, or if you're working in splits, you can go there as well. Wherever you're at, big breath in to lengthen. Exhale to fold forward. Keeping our feet wide on the mat, so one on either side. Again, working with your breath here, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold on down. You have 2 more here. Make them intentional, make them useful. Twisting triangle, hand comes down to the mat or a block. And open up wide. Again, 2 breaths here to make them intentional. Good. Both hands down to the mat, chaturanga. Exhaling all the way down, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left foot forward, triangle pose. Again, hands either coming down to a block or the mat. Gaze up towards those fingertips, steady breaths to open up. Back up to standing, side facing, wide leg, forward fold. Big breath in to stay tall and exhale to fold down forward. Reaching for a bind behind the back. We're finding lunges side to side. 2 options here. Try one on. Come back into center and back up to standing. Namaste, front facing, forward fold. Or if you did splits on the other side, go ahead and do splits here as well. Namaste, front facing, forward fold. Our feet are nice and wide on the mat. And again, working with that breath to fold forward, to acknowledge and access the grounding, the stretching, whatever's showing up here. Steady breaths to work with it. Twisting triangle, hand comes down to a block, to the mat. Opening up nice and wide here. 2 breaths again. Good. Both hands to the mat, flowing through chaturanga, exhaling down, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Let it go. We'll come out to a high plank position. And then slowly lower yourself all the way down onto the mat. Once you're there, send your hands straight back behind you. And lift up. Locust number 1. Gaze straight out in front of you, keeping a nice long line through the spine and the back of the neck. Good. Go ahead, lower all the way down. You can wiggle your feet side to side. And locust number 2. Go ahead and lift on up. As you're reaching up, reach back for a bind, peeling our chest nice and open here today. You have 2 more breaths to lift nice and high as we enter into our igniting our breath nice and powerful. Good. Lower all the way down. Floor bow is next. Reaching back, grab. We will do 2. So you can do 1 at a time or reaching back, grabbing both those ankles, knees in. And go ahead and lift on up. Floor bow number 1. Hold it for 3 breaths, accessing what's possible. Lifting nice and high. Good. On your 3rd breath, go ahead and lower all the way down. Rock those feet side to side. 1 breath to clear the way. And floor bow number 2. Reach back, grab those ankles, lift nice and high again. Just 3 breaths here to access what's possible. Get nice and lifted. Kick those feet straight up. Good. Go ahead and lower all the way down. Hands at your lower ribs. Upward facing dog. Big inhale. Downward facing dog. Get rid of it. Camel pose. Come on down to your knees. Reaching up and back, either going for the back pockets or reaching for your ankles. Camel number 1. Good. Go ahead, lift up and out of camel. A moment to reset, a breath to refresh. And camel number 2, reach up and back again, going for those back pockets or reaching all the way for the ankles. Our chest getting nice and lifted, exploding up towards the ceiling. Good. Gently release up and out of camel. Swing those legs around for bridge pose. Coming onto your back. Feet about hip width distance, straight out on 12 o'clock. We'll go ahead and lift on up, bridge pose. You can shimmy your shoulders up underneath, reaching for a bind beneath you. Staying with that powerful breath, that helping you to press into your firm foundation, allowing you to lift up a bit higher. We'll hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower all the way down. What's next are 4 wheels for 5 seconds. 4 wheels, 5 seconds. Place your hands straight back behind you and go ahead and inhale, lift on up. Wheel number 1 just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. A breath to reset. Wheel number 2. Go ahead, inhale, lift on up, bridge or wheel wherever you're at. You have it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. A powerful breath to wash that away. Wheel number 3. Go ahead, inhale, lift on up. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. One last breath to reset. Wheel number 4. Go ahead, inhale, lift on up. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet together. Let your knees go wide. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath. Take one moment to acknowledge and appreciate yourself for how far you've come. Give yourself that pep talk to finish it on out. Dead bug. Go ahead, grab your feet, take your knees wide, rock side to side for happy baby. Good. Both feet straight up towards the ceiling, nice and flexed. A moment to acknowledge that your full back is being pressed into the mat. And if it's not, take a moment to adjust that so you can feel your full back being pressed into the mat. Big breath in. Exhale your right leg down. Inhale back up. Exhale the left down. Good. Inhale back up. Moving into your scissor legs, but keeping 2 things, breath and movement connection here. Also keeping those feet nice and flexed as they go all the way down. Has to take some of the work out of that foundation of the core. Good. We have it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both legs straight up towards the ceiling, nice and flexed. Big breath in. Exhale, both feet down 30 degrees. Breath in. Exhale, down 60. Breath in. Exhale, down to hover. You can look at them and flutter kick here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send them straight back up. A breath to reset. Clear it out. And now we're ready. Breath in. Exhale, down 30. Breath in. Exhale, down 60. Breath in. Exhale, down to hover. You can flutter kick again or pendulum side to side wherever you're at. Good. Send them straight back up. We have one more, a breath to clear that out. Now we're ready. Breath in. Exhale down 30. Breath in. Exhale down 60. Breath in. Exhale down to hover. You can find some circles one way here. Go ahead, switch directions. Good. Send them straight back up. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Abdominal twist are now. Place those hands behind your ears, shoulders going, or elbows going wide rather, and you can begin your twist. Yeah. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Finding your breath and movement connection. Exhale on your twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. Good. Find it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock and roll on your spine 3 times, and we'll meet in boat pose. Give yourself that little back massage. And we'll set up in boat however it looks, whether your feet are on the ground, out in front of you, nice and flexed. We'll do this 3 times. Exhale down to lower boat. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Just one more. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Give yourself a big old squeeze. Drop that forehead down. Make it a tight squeeze here. Good. Half pigeon, right side. You can swing that leg around and set up for half pigeon on the right side. These first few breaths, allowing yourself to set up into the pose. So there might be some cobwebs that are hanging out in our hips. These first few breaths, to work with them, allow yourself to find the pose. Time to acknowledge what's happening and to be right here in the pose. Just 3 more breaths here. Make them intentional. Allow yourself to sink in. Good. Go ahead and switch sides. You can kick into downward dog or just swing the left leg around. But left-sided half pigeon. First few breaths to check in, to play around with what some of the defaults might be. Then the breath doing the work of opening up. Again, your last 3 breaths, make them intentional. Right now is all that you have left in this pose. Don't miss out. Good. You can release out. We'll move on to frog pose. Coming down onto your mat. Hips, feet, and ankles all at 90 degrees. Our breath working greatly to here to find ease in a not so easy pose, to find comfort in a mostly uncomfortable position. You have 5 breaths here. Make them intentional. Send them to those hips. Don't miss out on this opportunity here in frog. Good. You can gently release on out of frog. Come to a seated position on your mat. We will set up for seated single leg extension on the right side. As you're here, a big breath in to sit up nice and tall. And an exhale to fold down towards that foot. Working here to get a release through the back of your leg. Each breath creating a bigger release through the spine, each vertebrae opening up. Each breath allowing that fold to get a little bit deeper. Good. Back into seated. We'll set up for a seated single leg extension on the left side. Left leg goes out. Again, big breath in to sit up nice and tall. And an exhale to fold down towards the foot. Your inhale helping to lengthen out. Your exhale helping to fold a bit more. Come on back up to seated. Both feet out in front of you. Seated, forward fold, both legs out. Big breath in to sit up nice and tall. And an exhale to fold down towards your feet. Still using that Ujjayi breath, nice and powerful, accessing this release. Don't miss out on it. Good. You have 2 more powerful breaths here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold on down. 1 more. Good. Come on back into seated tabletop or reverse plank. Fingertips towards the body. Allowing the chest to open up wide here today. Good. Lower all the way down, fish pose. Using your arms or grabbing a block between the shoulder blades. Allow your chest to open up wide. Really working to get those elbows underneath. Gently roll over to your side, remove the block. And we'll move on to getting our hips above our hearts, whether that's a shoulder stance, an inversion of your choice, a block under your hips. Good. Allowing this final rejuvenation of the body. Shoulder stance can come to plow. Plow to deaf man's pose, dropping the knees by the ears. From there, you can slowly roll all the way back onto your mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself one big tight squeeze here. Supine twist to the right, knees to the right, gaze to the left. These first few moments to allow your body to get into it. Yeah, maybe you need a sigh out. Helps release out that lower back. And as you're here, you can begin to melt into the mat a little bit more, that shoulder being pressed down. You can come on back into center. And supine twist to the left. Again, these first few moments allow your body just to get used to it. Maybe there's a deep sigh out. We'll melt into this pose on this side. You can come on back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees go wide. If you're in studio, there's a cool eye towel near your head if you would like to take advantage of that. Shavasana. Sit up nice and comfortably on your mat, letting the weight of gravity take your feet to the side. Press down on the shoulders. Fall into the arms of universal love. Often in our lives, we stand on a cliff. Something happens, a situation occurs, and in one moment, our life changes drastically in a way we hoped that it wouldn't. We toppled off. In that moment, we may feel as if we've been pushed off that cliff. Other times, we stand poised. And our life changes radically in one moment, and it's a welcomed change. We feel delighted, spontaneous, guided, powerful, centered, ready to take on the risks, ready to leap into the next adventure. Sometimes we're pushed. Sometimes we decide to make that leap on our own. Either way, we're safe. We're protected. Either way, you can trust that you will land in the arms of universal love. Nice and gently, you can wiggle out your fingers and toes, rolling your wrists and ankles, bending the knees and elbows. A full body stretch here on your mat. Gently roll over to your side. One final moment of acknowledgement for yourself. Moment of acknowledgement for Jason and Charlie and Debbie and Laura, Bob, Janet, Harold, Allie, Meg, Amanda, Brittany. Moment of acknowledgement for all of you for showing up and putting in the work. Gently come up to a seated position on your mat, however comfortable for you. Find a big breath in, one final stretch, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center, and we'll end class as we began with 3 ohms. Big breath in. Hands to forehead center. You are and have universal love. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Thank you again for spending your afternoon with me. Thank you.